New York is understandably freaking out as well. Letitia James not too happy about this one because Letitia is now going to be looking at the feds moving in on New York as well. He's already made that clear. New York is on the list, Chicago is on the list, and LA, of course, already we know is on the list. And we've seen this as recently as this week. You had Brad Lander, the comptroller there for New York City, trying to get in the way of federal law enforcement, trying to do their job. And guess what? They put him in cuffs, you know.
You don't have to. I'm not obstructing. I'm standing right here in the hallway. I asked to see the judicial warrant. By asking for a judicial warrant? You don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens asking for a judicial warrant.
We go too. Sorry. Away. Abstain. Where are you taking him? Hello.
Hi, I'm the Comptroller's Press Secretary. Where are you taking the Comptroller of the City of New York?
And with what authority?
You're saying where are you taking him? And they're just getting him out of the way, right? And it looks like, you know, this may wind up in the courts as well, but ultimately,
number one right here, right? Thank you.
Ultimately, what you're going to see is the same thing here, and that is that New York, if it's not going to enforce the federal law, is going to have to cede that authority to the federal government. Same as we saw there with the Ninth Circuit making the decision in California. Elise Stefanik, meanwhile, very upset because taxpayer dollars are now being put forward to handle the legal fees of migrants. This has been a big issue this week because Kathy Hochul is very, very upset. She's the governor of New York that basically, you're living in an environment where the state does not have the same kind of power from a sanctuary perspective. Here she is with what I believe is going to be a career-ending move, talking about the issue this week.
Do you want to know what I really think? Please. It's bull. How dare they take an elected official who's been going down there for weeks to escort people who are afraid to walk into a courthouse in the United States of America. So Brad Lander has stepped up to be a guiding help for them. And this is what happens to them. What the hell is happening to this country? I just left Little Haiti. People are being traumatized. Small businesses, people walking down the street. When I was there in August, the streets were mobbed. People were walking down the sidewalks. There were vendors everywhere. The traffic was crowded. Today, there was silence. People are living in fear. One woman just told me the ICE agents are going in and out of buildings there.
So part of this is related to the Supreme Court allowing for the Trump administration to strike down the law or the allowance of 532,000 people from the likes of Haiti, Nicaragua, Cuba, and Venezuela to come to this country. So Biden had allowed for all these people, 532,000 to come in. Some of them may have been in New York or other sanctuary cities. And all of a sudden now, they no longer have that legal status to be here. And so ICE is making the decision that one, if you are here illegally, and two, if you've committed a crime, that you are then subject to arrest. And this is where you're seeing this divide, right, between what the state wants and what the federal government wants. And that's when it's going to get back to all of these laws. Again, when you look at the federalization of the National Guard, one can expect that that is also going to happen in New York. And so Kathy Hochul and Letitia James, they're preparing for it, with Kathy saying she's putting $50 million towards the legal fees. Don't forget, the Democrats were allocating, what was it, $10 million just towards Letitia's legal fees because of her mortgage fraud situation, her own personal doing that she's in that mess. Anyway, they're throwing money around to try and address these legal challenges. And I'm just going to tell them right now, it is money down the drain. Go back to the Constitution. Look at what it says. You do not have the right to be completely divorced from what the federal government is insisting upon, New York, California, Illinois. But nonetheless, here's Kathy.
That are walking out of this courthouse, taken away from their families. They don't have the attention. They don't have the lawyers. And that's why the state of New York is providing $50 million to cover legal services for people who are finding themselves in this situation.
Okay. So she's putting taxpayer dollars towards that. You can see how this is going, right? What is going to, I mean, the campaign ads are playing out in my head already. Elise Stefanik already did one with her tweet. Oh my gosh, you know, she's putting the needs of illegal migrants ahead of people that are here in this country. Another story that just broke today, we saw that Pam Bondi is going after the Kentucky governor because the Kentucky governor is, in her estimation, putting illegals first because they're allowing for scholarships for university for people who are here illegally. And they're putting those kids effectively above people who were born here. And so this is kind of coming to a head. It's sort of bizarre that it's happened, but I guess we were getting there. We were getting there because why? Because they made a decision to bring in some 20 million people illegally and then offer them benefits and offer them possible voting rights. Look at what was going on in New York, 800,000 non-citizens that they wanted to be able to vote in the state of New York. And you can just see the train, right? Like leaving the station. Where was this heading? They thought to themselves, oh, bring all these people in, you know, let them eat cake. Let them eat cake, right? It's the Marie Antoinette thing. You just give them a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. The Democrats say, we're going to control all the money. We're going to control all the handouts. AOC is going to make it fair, you know, for everyone. Well, I mean, she's certainly going to make it fair for herself. Don't forget, she's the one that was on the private jet along with Bernie Sanders so they could go do that whole socialism tour earlier this year. There's a method to the madness. There's only one sort of team of people that succeeds in that, and it's the utter elites, the people in control, the AOCs and the Sanders of the world. So now we're looking at all the states once again banding together with one Letitia James to try and fight California's federalization, or Trump's federalization of the National Guard in California. But I got news for them, just like I got news for Letitia on the Elon Musk thing. Guess what? You're not going to get to first base because the Ninth Circuit has already made the decision. So once again, you're wasting everybody's time. You're wasting everybody's money. It's like the only thing she knows how to do, right? Wow. We got some interesting news. Hopefully you can still see me here. See, I told you it was going to be a little rough going. Up in New Hampshire here, but you know I wasn't going to miss a show. No, not Trish. Not when we get this much going on. We are so proud to be independent. We're thrilled. We're climbing the charts. We're getting closer and closer to 1 million subs. I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen very soon. So thank you for all you do. And thank you to our sponsors who help make this show all possible. Balance of Nature. Go to balanceofnature.com. I took the fruits and veggies. Code word Trish. You can get them for 35% off. You can call them at 1-800-2468 751. It's 1-800-2468-751. Balanceofnature.com with code word Trish. Again, 35% off.